High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. Let's go, Rock.
When I was a sophomore, I earned a spot as the starting kicker on the varsity team. And the upperclassmen took me under their wing. I mean, it meant a lot. It was like having another brother, having someone else that had my back.
I bet it's you all there. You gonna be there? Yeah. Are you gonna be there? That's what I like to hear.
Yeah!
St. Patrick High School is brotherhood, faith, and tradition. Everything we do here comes back to these three things. The brotherhood at St. Pat's are the bonds that last the rest of our lives.
Once you become a member of the St. Pat's community, all the people that you meet here, even the alumni, they become a part of your life forever.
From the day you come in and shadow to the day you leave in graduation, you're always part of something bigger than yourself. We talk about brotherhood and tradition and being a Shamrock not for 4 years, but for 40 years. Well, then when you see people that are coming back and living that, like they're still giving back, and it's been 20, 30 years since they graduated, I mean, that's the evidence.
Being at St. Patrick High School has been one of the most formative and best experiences of my life. It is here where I grew in my faith. It is here where I met some of my best friends in the world, and it's here where I ultimately discovered my purpose in life.
What's up, dude? What's up, my man? How you doing? What's going on? What's up, man? How you doing?
When we say faith, we mean it in all its forms. Faith in each other, faith in our teachers, and our faith. Our tradition runs deep. It defines our present and fuels our future.
So over here, I have to create a for loop.
There is no community like the one that I've seen here. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of self. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of what they want their next steps to be, where they're going.
Lo habla muy bien.
I shadowed for the homecoming pep rally, and the kid I was shadowing, Kwame, he was one of the captains on the football team at the time, and for the pep rally, he just went out there and got everyone hyped, and I was like, wow, like, I want to go here.
Once you believe in something, it stays with you for the rest of your life. If they believe in the people here, and they believe in the building and the school, this place can take them somewhere special. St. Patrick High School, it's not just 4 years, it's for life.
Welcoming your guests is easy and secure. When someone rings the video doorbell, you can control everything right on your phone and go back to enjoying the rest of your warm summer days. Take control with the video doorbell from Forest Security.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die, and this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, and we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Thank you to the family of coworkers known for their love of community and treating everyone like family.
Stop what you're doing. If your SBS broadcast looks blurry on your laptop or desktop, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon at the bottom right of your screen. Then click on quality. Click on the highest quality that's available for you. And number 3, wait for your laptop to load and enjoy the broadcast. If your broadcast looks blurry on your phone or tablet, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon located at the top right of your screen. Number 2, click on advanced. And number 3, click on the highest quality available. If you're still having issues, type in the live chat. Thanks and enjoy the game.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kyle Smith. My partner, Andrew Diedrich, will be here around 6:15, 6:20. Should be a good one. St. Patrick, the 14th seed, taking on the 6th seed in Cary-Grove. Cary-Grove runs the triple option offense. They had over 500 rushing yards in their victory over Sycamore in the round of 32. For St. Patrick, it was a great game. They scored 21 points in the second quarter. And to do so, they needed 4 straight carries to Jay Miranda. Gavin Gardner, the first-year starting quarterback, 21 of 30 for 276 yards in that victory over Wakanda. And how about Timmy Shayer, 13 catches for 191 yards. They were up 35-14 late in the first half, but a late score by Wakanda put things in doubt with a 14-point lead for the Shamrocks. An errant punt by Wakanda, bad snap, and it was recovered at their own 12-yard line, giving St. Patrick great field position. They scored a couple plays later. Anthony Catrone with the 17-yard tee after the false start, and that pretty much did in the Wakanda Bulldogs. 3 picks for St. Patrick in that game. Nana Achumpong, Thomas White, and Kevin Michelson. Michelson had a pick 6. It was 25 yards out. The 2 touchdown catches were by Pemberton and Shayer, 28 and 25 yards respectively. Like we talked about earlier, Cary-Grove is triple option. If they pass, it's either they're down or it's a trick play or they're in an obvious passing situation. Even then, they like to run the ball a lot. 3 first-quarter TDs against Sycamore, and they had TDs from 5 different players. Lance Moore had a touchdown run and also a pick. But according to Moore, they weren't even on the top of their game. I am shocked by that, and I am wondering how they're going to play tonight in the rain. This is very much a triple option friendly night with the rain, making it tougher for Gardner to pass tonight. Burnt, the quarterback, had 172 rushing yards for the Trojans on 24 attempts. Zavala with a 51-yard touchdown run, and the very young but great freshman in Ty Tenapur, 54-yard touchdown run. And how about this? Cary-Grove had 3 scores before Sycamore got a first down. We're going to take a break. We'll give you more analysis of this game a couple minutes from now. You're watching the Trojans against the Shamrocks here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
How's it going, everybody? It is 6:22 p.m., which means about some time for some high school football. This is the IHSA Network production of Cary-Grove against St. Patrick here on the NFHS Network. National anthem about to begin. Cary-Grove in the white and blue, St. Patrick in the brown and green. We'll take a quick break, and the national anthem coming up next here on NFHS.
With our Star-Spangled Banner.
Kyle Smith, Andy Diedrich is in traffic, but he will be here shortly. Cary-Grove in the white and blue. St. Patrick in the green and brown. Waiting to see who won the coin flip. Rain continues here at Triton College Stadium. The text line's open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory, text 330-957-7653. And it'll be Cary-Grove kicking off to the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Ball on the 40-yard line. It's a short kickoff, and it's going to be returned at the 18-yard line. Past the 25, getting it to the 30 on a beautiful return for St. Patrick. First and 10 at the 35. Wrong spot. It's actually at the 31. Handoff off the left guard, gains maybe a yard. Second and 5. A little bit high on the throw. It's going to be picked off by the Trojans right at midfield. Excellent start for Cary-Grove and a somewhat of a hoer start for the St. Patrick Shamrocks. So this triple option offense for Cary-Grove. First and 10 at midfield for the Trojans. Hold on, I got to get through. Led by their quarterback in Burnt. Handoff up the middle. Ball loose, but they're going to mark him down inside the 45. As the fullback dive, good start for the Trojans. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for Cary-Grove. Ball placed at the 39. And it's a run for Burt. Still on his feet. Eyes the goal line. Just short of the end zone. Burt with an excellent run. Gets inside the 5. Cary-Grove rolling a little bit right now. A pick and almost a touchdown. And they're going to change their mind. Touchdown awarded for Cary-Grove, 6-0 Trojans. So the pick by Gardner, and the Trojans go 50 yards the other way. The lefty kicker for the Trojans. Kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a quick break. It's 7-0 Cary-Grove here on the NFHS Network. Got to mute the mic, mute the mic.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Kickoff coming up. Cary-Grove will kick off from their own 40. A pick, Andy, and they go right down the field on 2 plays.
The 6-seed Cary-Grove Trojans, of course, it's a rushing touchdown. Jackson Burt there. Last week in their last victory, 24 carries for 172 yards and a touchdown there. Looks like he's doing more of the same to start this one off.
Taken at the 26, goes into contact right at the 35 with 10:16 to go. Early on in the first quarter, not a great start, obviously, for St. Patrick. First play interception, and then 2 plays later, a touchdown for Cary-Grove. So 3 plays, and it's already 7-0 in favor of CG.
Yeah, St. Patrick as the team that's kind of coming in as the underdog here, being the 14 seed as opposed to Cary-Grove 6 seed. Definitely wanted to get off on the correct foot there. Obviously, interceptions, turnovers, quickest way to lose games. But quarterback Gavin Gardner is not going to lose his confidence. I expect big things out of him tonight.
Handoff off the left side, tackled at the 31. Look, Cary-Grove was in the semifinals last year. They only lost by 2 points. You don't get to the semifinals by luck. It's going to be a long road ahead for St. Patrick, and they got to sustain drives if they want to win tonight.
Yeah, of course, St. Patrick, kind of this young upstart team that after going only winning 2 games last year as opposed to 7 losses. New coach Tom Zibikowski's got them feeling good. And while they've been playing solid this season, Cary-Grove might be a monster that's too big to conquer. We'll have to see, Kyle.
Right up the middle, past the first down marker. And an excellent run for St. Pat's. They like to use 2 running backs that time. Anthony Catrone right up the middle.
Cary-Grove, the one that's running the wing T formation, pretty much run-only offense. This time, St. Patrick giving them a bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Off the left tackle, Catrone gets to the second level. 1st and 10, showing why he had 3 touchdown runs against Bennett Academy.
Catrone, a very strong running back. You saw him, that was designed to go up the middle, followed his lineman's lead though, found some space on that edge on the far side, which is actually the short side of the field, Kyle, so it shows how he can create space in some crowded situations.
2nd and 1, ball at the 41. Off the left tackle, going to be a flag on the play. This is probably coming back, Andrew.
Looked like offensive holding to me. Again, we talk about that line that was setting Catrone up for those big runs before, but against a physical team like Cary-Grove, penalties are bound to happen, and these are our first one of the night.
They called it quickly, so it might be a legal motion. Usually the play has to happen for a second or two, then they call holding.
Was a quick flag by the referee in the backfield. I believe it's going to be declined the way they were going over to.
Well, it was a first down accepted, right?
Let's see. It is indeed a hold. There, you were right, Kyle.
It was just a weird hold because it was called so quickly. Right, you held him right after the snap. That's like the ultimate cheating. Locked him up with the headlock right when the ball was snapped.
And the important thing to note here, as great as St. Patrick was running these past few drives, 1st and 20 now is kind of a killer when it comes to really setting up your offense.
Gardner fumbled it. And it's an automatic dead ball in high school, partner.
Yep, as soon as you fumble it, he fell on it, had his knees down, and I think these slippery conditions are certainly showing their effects early. Had a screen opportunity on this near side to one of his favorite targets. I believe that's Joey Pemberton he was looking for.
This is just advantage Cary-Grove. They don't pass it a lot. A lot easier to run it in the rain than pass.
Everything here favors the team that runs 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and that is the Cary-Grove Trojans.
Right now, Anthony Catrone, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's a one-man wrecking crew right now.
Look like closer to 10 yards and maybe some turf pellets coming out of the field here at Triton College. But Anthony Catrone, he got 29 carries a week ago, ran that for nearly 150 yards. You see why he's a focal point of this offense.
2nd and 2. They're going to spot it at the 43. And tackled from behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like the Jumbotron's having issues right now.
I think that brings up 3rd down now after the no gain. Nope, it is going to be 4th down. Apologies, folks.
Yeah, it's been a little bit trouble with the Jumbotron. Said 2nd and 1, now 3rd and 10.
And clearly been some trouble for me since I put the headset on too, huh?
So yesterday we saw something interesting during the Fremd Lions Township game. Lions Township was attempting a field goal on a punt instead of a regular punt.
I don't believe I saw that. That was I saw the box score. What a game, though, that we had. That was right here, wasn't it? Or that was at Fremd. I apologize.
Well, if you were a Fremd fan, you were a fan of it. If you were a Lions Township fan, not so much. 45-21 in favor of the Vikings.
Some pretty solid football last night. I got to go see Class 8A action. It was Barrington that steamrolled over Glenbrook South 38-20. Their 2nd time beating them this season. So Barrington setting themselves up for another big season.
Yeah, they also beat them a couple years ago in the playoffs. So people from Glenbrook South, not too fans of Barrington and the Bronco logo. They have dominated them the last 3 years in football.
Hard to blame them, but 2 solid programs. I'm sure no matter what happened in that game yesterday, obviously Barrington advanced. Both are going to be near the top real soon.
And a handoff up the middle, gained a couple of yards.
You said it before, Kyle. We're talking about how this wing tee and a very, very run-heavy offense favors the Cary-Grove Trojans tonight, mainly because of these weather conditions, but also because it's the game they've been playing since the school was founded. Head coach Brad Seberg's been at the helm since 2011. The team has been running their triple option wing tee style offense since the school was inception, at least in the 1970s. It's that physical style that he and the coaching staff love to bring.
2nd and 8. As the ball is placed right at the 25. Up the middle, and you always got to wait because Sebring and this offense, quarterback Burt, they wait and wait and wait sometimes and then run with it. So I always wait just to see if he faked at the last second.
It's certainly a classic style offense that, our fathers and grandfathers maybe grew up watching, but the concepts draw a lot of similarities to today's game. Misdirection and confusion for the defense is such a huge part of today's game. You see all the motions and fake screens and stuff. Kind of seeing it here with the triple option, Kyle.
The 1st down marker is right at the 32. See if they pass it here. Burt takes it himself. He's still on his feet. He's going to get past midfield. Burt in the open field. Still on his feet. eyes the goal line. Touchdown, number 11. Touchdown, QB1 in Jackson Burt. My goodness, what a run.
Burt found some space. We just said you had to be patient watching this team run their offense. You never know when Burt's going to pull that ball back and go for a big gain. Line had a beautiful hole over the middle of the field and some nifty moves by the quarterback there to go ahead and not just turn that into a big gain, but a long touchdown run.
Do you think St. Patrick is a little shell-shocked right now? 13-0, we're not even in the second quarter yet.
It's certainly one way to come out of the gates for Cary-Grove. As a run-first team, you're not expecting to come out and score 2 touchdowns in a matter of minutes. Yet here is the scenario that the Shamrocks are facing. I think they have a potent enough offense they feel they can get back into it in a hurry. But certainly, everything's fair in Cary-Grove right now.
Snap is down, the hold is there, and the kick. Straight through the uprights. We'll take a break. 14-0 in favor of Cary-Grove here on the NFHS Network. To get to the 30, it's going to be close. Usually they give the offensive player the benefit of the doubt.
Looks like they do here.
Chains move. Cary-Grove not going to argue. They're up 14 points. Still a long way to go for St. Pat's, but if you can sustain drives, keep the ball out of Burnt's hands, maybe you can win this one if you're the Shamrocks.
And it certainly looks like they're trying to do just that. Going to push the pace and go no huddle.
Catrone, good pursuit. That time by the Trojans. Not a lot of running room that time for Catrone.
They're certainly going to force feed him the ball. Like I said before, 29 carries last week, which is already a whole lot. This week, we might even see more than that. He might be in the 30s, close to 40s with the way the conditions are going and the offense that the Shamrocks want to really establish in this ball game.
So the ball is just north of the 29. He has to get close to the 40 to get the first. 2nd and 10. Tackle for loss. That's not going to get it done. It was an excellent tackle behind the line of scrimmage by Trey Cole.
This St. Patrick offensive front is prolific. They have Eli Valencia, who was the conference lineman of the year for the Shamrocks. But right now, the closing speed of the second level of these Cary-Grove Trojans, reading that run early and sniffing it out real fast.
Clean pocket for Gardner. Over the middle, high throw, but right on target. And a nice catch by Scheer. We talked about getting him involved. Good pitch and catch that time from number 3 to number 1.
Scheer's all conference, and for good reason. A week ago, 13 catches, close to 200 yards, and a touchdown. Ball's finally in his hands, and seeing how much he got the ball last week, expect him to get the rock once again.
Now, is this going to be a penalty? No, legal man downfield. AKA cheating.
Legal man downfield is one of those penalties that just really stings in offense because a lot of times the lineman's not necessarily doing anything nefarious downfield. Of course, you can't be downfield because the whole point is you can't block downfield.
It doesn't impact the play, but it's against the rules. Sometimes they get it wrong. Remember that playoff game, Giants-49ers? They called a legal man downfield. He was actually eligible before the snap, and it cost the Giants a playoff win. 3rd and a country mile. Just don't throw a pick. Hope for the best. Can't even get the ball off for a screen. Catrone, the intended target, off his fingertips. Probably would have been way short anyways. Punt formation coming in. And if the Trojans score again, that might be it for St. Patrick.
Yeah, looking back at the offensive play call there, really don't hate it where it's 3rd and I believe your wording was a country mile. Love that, by the way. Setting up the screen for Catrone at least get you some more yards so you can push Cary-Grove back since they're a run-heavy offense, since they're going to make these slow gains. Hopefully can push back their field position, but pass comes up incomplete. We have 4th and a very long to go.
Yeah, the ball looks to be spotted at the 22. First down's at the 40. So it was 4th and 18. Punt will be returned. As a couple of yards that time by Landon Moore. He had a touchdown and an interception. And he said that they weren't even at the top of their game last week against Sycamore. I think this is probably the top of their game right now. If not, good luck to anybody if Cary-Grove advances to the semifinals and or quarterfinals.
Yeah, quite the impressive first 9.5 minutes from the Trojans. If 42-14, a 28-point win, is not you at your best, what's that? What sort of beast are we going to see the rest of the playoffs?
This has got to be at their best, right? Burt with a 25-yard touchdown run to make it 13-0.
And this is a team that has won the state championship twice in the last couple seasons. 4 times overall, 09, 2018, 2021, and most recently in 2023.
Up the middle, fullback dive. No one's going to catch him. All the way to the end zone. Excellent run by Logan Abrams. 20-0. Absolute silence from the St. Patrick fans.
It's almost a little frustrating when you know going into the game against Cary-Grove, they do one thing. They're going to run the ball right at you, triple option, maybe some misdirection, and that's it. The Trojans playing to their strength. As strength is just more powerful than I think a lot of defenses can handle. So it's just really impressive there from Abrams. And honestly, Burnt for that nice fake handoff. You saw a lot of the secondary members crashing in on the outside as Abrams went right down the middle.
The lefty kicker. We could see a running clock tonight if St. Patrick isn't careful. Good snap. The hold is there. The kick. And it's no good. Partially blocked. We want to give a special thank you to some of our sponsors. Come see, the other one. Nope. There you go. Come see St. Patrick High School up close. Book a private tour of the historic campus at 5900 West Belmont. Updated facilities and countless opportunities for future Shamrocks. Email Director of Admissions Joe Cermak, that's JCERMAK at stpatrick.org. St. Patrick Faith, Tradition, Brotherhood. And also at St. Patrick High School, the Career and Technical Education Program gives students real-world skills in 5 major pathways, from finance and business services to manufacturing, engineering, technology, and trades. Whether college or career-bound, they prepare students for what's next. Come tour the new $2 million Manufacturing and Engineering Lab and see firsthand how you could partner with the program to help students find their path. Discover the difference. St. Pat's College and Career Ready. Kickoff coming up. How do you recover if you're St. Patrick? You can't score 21 points on one drive, but they haven't been able to get past midfield much of this first quarter.
And we'll see what they can do on this kickoff here, but you can't think about it all at once. You have to go out and play your game on every single drive. Try to win every play. Once you start winning a couple plays, then it stacks up into a solid series and solid stops on the defensive end.
Matthew Macca on the tackle. Got to find ways to put points on the board. 20-0, not 21-0. As the partial blocked PAT. Let's see if that sparks this offense a little bit. A little bit shaky from Gardner tonight. Pick, trying to do a screen pass, and he fumbled.
Solid throw over the middle of Shayer. That was called back by the penalty. We'll see if they try to capitalize off that momentum.
Right up the middle. Going nowhere fast. They're just losing the battles up front, partner, the Shamrocks are. What are you seeing from this offensive line that they can improve on?
I think a big thing is, of course, you want to say, go out there and be physical. Go hit the guy harder. It's more complicated than that. There's a lot more going on between the lines than I think a lot of us see at home. On a rainy night like this, you have to understand that you're going to ground and pound the ball. You have to know where their defensive weapons are at. Try to run the ball away from them and trust your all-conference linemen to lead you there.
Screen pass. Well read by Cary-Grove. Just the tackling, the form tackling tonight by Cary-Grove has been excellent. That tackle delivered by Tanner Hurley. And third long again for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, and you mentioned the offensive front for St. Patrick. I think the main thing that the Cary-Grove defense is showing is their linebackers and their secondary's ability to close in and make these open field tackles. Brady Elbert had that tackle on that first down play. They're just getting into these holes and making sure that they are suffocating the Shamrocks.
Gardner with a clean pocket. He's going to throw it over the middle. Dangerous territory, picked off. Here come the Trojans. It was picked off by Ritter. Ritter gets to the right side. Eyes the goal line. Dives for it. No signal yet. I think it was just short.
Gets down to about the half-yard line. Ritter, the senior, I think wanted to take that one all the way for sure. But I think St. Patrick feeling the depth of that 20-point deficit right now, trying to make plays happen. And unfortunately, Kyle, that ball was nowhere near any receiver for the Shamrocks.
It's hard to throw it deep in conditions like this. And Gardner has to know that. He's not a senior, but still. He is an upperclassman. Look, they're not going to go to a quarterback change. I know he has 2 picks and a fumble, but this stuff happens, man. I think of that performance. Brett Favre had 6 picks in a playoff game. Jake Delhomme, that horrible 6-turnover performance against the Arizona Cardinals.
Jake Delhomme, that's not a name I thought I'd hear tonight.
Who has the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history?
If you tell me it's Jake Delhomme, I'm going to freak out.
It's Jake Delhomme.
No way. Panthers,
the
Patriots?
Flows of playing, yeah, against the Patriots. Yeah, it was
No
Musa
way.
Muhammad, 87 yards.
Pretty cool.
They're going to go for 2. Not surprising since it's 20. Well, actually, no, they didn't get it. It was at the half-yard line.
There's the touchdown, Kyle.
See, it's surprised because I thought they were at the 2. I'm like, did they change their mind and signal the touchdown? No, that time's a touchdown. Partner, I hate to say this game is over, but it's pretty close.
It's never over until it's over. Anything can happen in high school football. St. Patrick's faced adversity before. They had an upset win against Wakanda last week, 49-28. This might be a deeper hole than I think anybody was anticipating them being in. But you can't show quit. This is your season on the line. This is the last game, potentially, for some of these seniors. You got to try and fight till the final whistle.
Do you still run the ball? I know they're going to be down either 27-0 or 28-0 or possibly 26-0. You're down by a lot now. It's only the first quarter. Lefty kicker coming in, so they're not going to go for 2. Kick is up. And it is good. 27-0. Cary-Grove will take a quick break. You're watching the NFHS Network. Future Shamrock Days are your chance to see what makes St. Patrick High School so special. Spend the day with a current student, sit down on classes, and experience the brotherhood and pride that makes St. Pat's feel like a family. Feel the Shamrock difference for yourself. Sign up today at stpatrick.org/future shamrocks. Also, calling all Shamrock alumni and parents in the trades. Be part of the second annual St. Patrick High School Trades Fair on January 16th. Share your experience, inspire the next generation, and showcase your trade. To get involved, scan the QR on the screen or visit stpatrick.org. Faith, tradition, brotherhood, career ready. Kickoff coming up, 27-0. Wow.
Wow is right. Again, I think coming into this game, some people maybe groaned at the thought of having to watch Cary-Grove's lurching offense take the field, run heavy, hardly ever passes. Right now, they're the ones with the offensive fireworks, Kyle. And St. Patrick, we'll talk about it after the kickoff, but I think they're going to want to make some adjustments when it comes to offensive play calling.
It's going to be returned at the 16-yard line. Going east and west with it, trying to find his blockers. Gets past the 30 and then falls down past it. They're going to spot it at the 33, so they got 67 yards to go. You're down 4 scores. Part of the field goal really doesn't help you anymore, but you have to be careful about it. You don't want to go for like 4th and 15 at the 40 and give Burnt and this Cary-Grove offense great field position.
Yeah, you cannot throw caution to the wind, and by that, it's not just, maybe airing it out on that 4th and 15 or whatever it is. You can't abandon the run game. I'm looking to see some shorter passes called up for the Shamrocks here to give Gardner some confidence to really huck it down the field.
Handoff off the right tackle. And a good tackle from behind, as it's going to be credited that time to Cole. And they actually switched him to defense. He was listed as a fullback on the depth chart. I guess everybody's a fullback. You have 5 guys scoring touchdowns. Everybody scores on this team.
And it's a very healthy offense.
Partner, they're going to have to do some pitch plays or some jet sweeps. These A and B gap runs just aren't working right now.
I think that's just showing the dominance of the Trojans' defensive front now as the first quarter horn sounds, 27-0 Cary-Grove. I don't even know if we need to give analysis. That score speaks for itself right now.
Take a quick break. Second quarter coming up next here on the NFHS Network. St. Patrick with the ball, 3rd and 7. Ball placed at the 36. Got to get to the 42. Do you get creative here on offense?
I don't think you can do that yet. You have to be able to sustain some sort of a positive momentum here. Let's see if they try.
Out to the right tackle. Got what, maybe 2? You're down 27. I know you're giving Cary-Grove great field position. It looks like the special teams unit is coming out on the field. Consider a fake punt here, or because of the conditions, it's going to be hard to grasp the ball and try to do a fake punt pass.
Yeah, we've only seen starting quarterback Gavin Gardner throw the ball 3, maybe 4 times. So if they're hardly trusting their man under center to do it, it'd be hard to trust the punter to pull that one off.
Some teams like to run that just straight run with the punter.
I've seen that in the NFL a lot. The Browns did it against the Saints about 10 years ago, for about 60 yards.
But the hang time was there. You got to give them an avenue to catch the ball. It was close to fair catch interference, but I like the no call there.
I think if the score was different, maybe we and some people I hope scrutinize
the officials might have considered calling fair catch interference.
There's a chance.
It looked like he had a route, though, to catch that ball.
But right now, I think what's more on the minds of people is that this Cary-Grove offense gets to take the field yet again. It's unbelievable looking at the score right now that they've even lost 2 games this year, Kyle.
Great teams they lost to, though. Prairie Ridge plays tomorrow against St. Francis in the Super 16, and Burlington Central playing right now in the Super 16. Bird still has it. First down. Listen to me, St. Patrick. Wait. Don't overcommit on defense.
Usually a advice given to a defensive end where they're supposed to hold, contain, set the edge, do not let anybody outside of you. I think these fakes from Burnt, being so patient, getting that ball up there, really trying to fool the defenders crashing in on the line of scrimmage for the Shamrocks. It's just continuing to move those chains.
Because they don't like to pass, going forward, do you consider putting 9 in the box, forcing them to run play action? This time Burnt again, not fooled. Flag on the play. Interesting to see what they call. Thought I saw a yellow flag. Yep, I was right. Chop block. Got to be careful with that. That can lead to injuries, especially in wet conditions like this.
Chop block's a pretty rare call these days, but when it happens, it's certainly enforced pretty strictly because of those injury concerns. Luckily, no one on the Shamrocks is shaken up, but the way the Trojans have been blocking for their ball carriers, maybe they don't even need the chop block to hold. We've seen great things from them tonight.
So only St. Ignatius in the Chicago Catholic League runs the triple option. St. Patrick occasionally plays St. Ignatius on a year-to-year basis. So they're used to seeing it a little bit. But some teams that run the spread or the West Coast offense, they'll do the occasional RPO. When you're on defense, is reading the RPO similar to the triple option?
I do think it's similar in a way, although at the same time, normally with the RPO, when you're the linebacker that has to make that read, you have safety help behind you. Sometimes when you're watching this triple option, it is you that's setting the edge, and if you take one step in, ball carries behind you in a hurry.
Because it's interesting when you're on defense because you know they're not going to pass. So if you're a free safety or strong safety, you can quote-unquote blitz, but then there's no last man back if Burnt does a fake handoff and tries to break it to the edge.
Yeah, it certainly becomes a chess match once you break it down because there's no doubt that Burnt or whoever they choose to throw in there under center could throw the ball at some point, and if Cary-Grove really wants to blow this one out and make things kind of crazy in a hurry, they could do just that.
Starting to rain a little bit heavier here at Trayton College Stadium. Burnt still has it. Here's the pitch play to the left. Still on his feet. No one's going to catch him. Bad tackling leads to a touchdown run for Cary-Grove. They're going to credit the touchdown to the running back in Leo Zavala. And partner, I think the fat lady is starting to warm up her vocal cords.
You know, with 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Kyle, I never thought we'd have some sort of conversation about the game potentially being over, but it's hard to argue right now. I mean, pure dominance from Cary-Grove the Cary-Grove Trojans here, taking advantage, I think, of some poor tackling from the Shamrocks. I hate to say this, they kind of look mentally checked out.
Football is one of those interesting games. Baseball, it's best of 7. Basketball, best of 7. Tonight, Cary-Grove is the better team than St. Patrick. That doesn't mean if Cary-Grove played St. Patrick 10 times that Cary-Grove would beat them all 10 times. Good snap. The hold is there. The kick straight through the uprights. We want to give a big thank you to one of our sponsors in St. Patrick. Calling all Shamrock alumni and parents in the trades, be part of the second annual St. Patrick High School Trades Fair on January 16th. Share your experience, inspire the next generation, and showcase your trade. To get involved, scan the QR on the screen or visit stpatrick.org. Faith, tradition, brotherhood, career ready. 34-0. Incredible, partner.
You mentioned this before, how football's, you go out there and you play, here we play 12-minute quarters in Illinois, but sometimes it's 60 minutes in the NFL or college, whatever it is. It's the better team out there for that allotted time. Right now, Cary-Grove is leaving no doubts about it. 34 points in 34-0 win, full game,
right.
Very impressive. 34-0 game with 10 minutes left to go in the first half, almost unprecedented.
That doesn't mean that they're a much better football team than St. Patrick. They're just a much better football team than them tonight.
That's certainly the case. St. Patrick's got a lot to write home on this year if this is indeed their last game of the season.
So if you're a St. Patrick fan and you're worried about the direction of this program, it's going in the right direction. They're just playing a team that was 2 points away from going to the state championship game last year. Flag on the play. This might be coming back. It was an excellent return by Mertens, but it's going to be coming back. It's going from bad to worse right now for the Shamrocks.
We await the penalty call. Looks like it's going to back up the Shamrocks. They'll have a long field to go once again.
Holding.
And so despite the holding call and the score on the board, you said it best, Kyle. The direction the St. Patrick Shamrocks are heading is phenomenal. 2-7 last year. They're 6-4 this year with a playoff win under first-year head coach Tom Zivikowski. Former Buffalo Grove standout, went to play his college ball at the University of Notre Dame, played safety for the Ravens. Couple interceptions in his NFL career. When you have that type of talent coming here coaching up these young men, it's something to be excited about for the future of the Shamrocks.
And they dominated Wakanda, 49-28. It wasn't just they squeezed by.
Wakanda's a solid team. I think you and I both know that.
Look, I know that Cary-Grove is a 6 seed, but for what you've seen tonight, are they quite possibly the favorite to come out of 5A as the state champion?
I don't know what I could say to argue otherwise, Kyle. The seeding only plays into it, especially the whole any given day on the football field
and
thing.
It's who you played. So if you have a tougher schedule than another team, you're going to have more losses. Losing yards quickly. No room to run. Instant penetration from this front four of the Trojans. That time on the tackle for loss, it's that man we talked about, Trey Cole.
I mean, it's truly unbelievable stuff. Now with the 2 losses, 3rd and about 20, I think, you just have to wonder what sort of conversations are going on in the St. Patrick sideline to try and get those athletes still motivated to at least go out and finish out this ball game.
3rd and 17. Gardner with time. He's going to go deep with it, and that's complete. Did he finish the catch? He did. Completion. Tight window throw, but it was complete. An excellent pitch and catch delivered by Gardner.
Cary-Grove calling that defensive play according to the situation. It was 3rd and a parking lot. St. Patrick seeing that they were in this quarter's defense. Normally the deep ball can't beat the quarter's defense. I think Shayer and Gardner have such a connection together that it's easy for them to get on those rhythm routes to get a big gain like they did just there.
Now they got to get a touchdown, get an onside kick, another touchdown, then they're right back in it.
Some positive movement towards the end zone, though. It's going to be offside against the Trojans, one of their few mistakes they've had on defense tonight.
One of the most famous comebacks, Frank Reich down 35-3 at half at Old Ralph Wilson Stadium. Warren Moon, if you're watching and listening, cover your ears. Nice pump fake. Out in the flat to Shayer. He can make a lot of men miss, but this Cary-Grove defense head on a swivel, good form tackling and gang tackling that time.
That was a perfect display of how the modern version of football has really changed how defenses view what their offensive counterparts are going to do. They'll let you throw the ball short as much as they have, as much as you want to. There's so many athletes in the secondaries of the elite teams in today's game that they're going to chase them down, reduce those gains to minimum yardage, and force you to punt early and often.
Nice job getting out to the edge. That was by Catrone.
Catrone's another guy, a big back. Like we said before, he had close to 30 carries last week. Right now, I think he's on pace to have much more than that. Yardage, though, not quite there as it was last week.
Gardner, so much time to throw. I think that just fell off his hand. Just not his night. 2 picks, a fumble. That was a partial fumble. Luckily, the arm was going forward, so no fumble. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not your night.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily that the offensive front for St. Patrick is as poor or hasn't done well all year. They have an all-conference member on that offensive line. This Cary-Grove defensive front, with no linebackers blitzing, continues to get pressure in the backfield of Gardner, and here it is on the run to Catrone.
Absolutely sandwiched on the play. The main guy on the sack, Logan Abrams, 6'3", 230 pounds. That doesn't feel good if you're Gavin Gardner.
Absolutely not. It just seems whichever direction they choose to go offensively has not been working out. You want to be able to put some points on the board. You mentioned some creativity and trickeration potentially brewing on the sideline of St. Patrick.
Yeah, it might be time for a flea flicker. Third down. He's got plenty of time. Nobody's open. To his check down. Well short. You're down 34-0. You're past the 50. What the heck? Go for it.
I think this one's an automatic go for it. I mean, punting here is just basically an admission of defeat. And no matter how much you're down, you never want to admit defeat 7 minutes with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. So Coach Zibkowski's going to trust Gardner out there to get him this fourth and medium.
Got to get to the 40 to convert. Gardner steps into his throw down the field. Excellent deflection. Tight coverage delivered by Moore. If that ball was a little bit more on the money, it would have been a first down, but Moore gets back into the play, makes a nice play.
Aggressive play calling there from the Shamrocks, and I do kind of like that. I think given their short yardage plays that they've been accruing on this drive, the Trojans expected them to maybe throw right at the sticks. This time they air it out to one of their best targets in Timmy Shayer, who, of course, close to 200 yards last week. Shayer could nearly haul it in, but Gardner and the passing game as a whole just not in sync tonight.
On that drive, a couple of nice catches. Joseph Costanzo and Sean Kelly. Kelly had that 84-yard touchdown reception against Bennett Academy. Problem for St. Pat's, they're not playing Bennett Academy tonight.
Red Wings were a formidable foe, but it's hard to compare a lot of teams to these Cary-Grove Trojans.
They're a 6 seed, by the way. Just think if they didn't have that strong strength of schedule, they'd be undefeated probably.
Goodness.
They can be defeated, though. Geneva did it. Granted, they had a 5-star recruit at wide receiver. And still, with that 5-star recruit at wide receiver, they only beat Cary-Grove by 2 points, and they were at home. Football's one of those interesting sports. Are you at home? Is it ideal weather conditions? Is your quarterback healthy? Is your running back healthy? All of these things factor into it.
They say it's a game of inches, but it's also just a game of so many different variables that go into it, too. I mean, with 22 guys on the field at once, anything can happen in a given play. I think that's the beauty of this game that we love so much. At least I do.
Pitch play to the left. Well read by the Shamrocks. As nowhere to go for the tailback in Tenopir. 6'1" freshman. They get cute with it, does Burnt, and the Shamrocks saw it all the way.
Much better this time on that triple option coverage from the Shamrocks. A big thing that will give defensive coordinators headaches is poor angles of pursuit to the ball carrier. That time, I'm not sure who that was in the secondary. We'll give him his flowers shortly.
I guess he changed his number because there's no 24 on the roster we got. They don't make it easy on the commentators, do they?
They never do, but they made it easy on the defense there. Great angle to bring down Tenopir, who is quite the long-distance threat.
3rd and 8. And there's a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Shamrocks against the Trojans here on the NFHS Network.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
3rd and 10 for the Cary-Grove Trojans. After a timeout, we'll see what they dial up with this prolific offense, so having scoring all 34 points in the game tonight.
Still on his feet. Past the 40, blockers in front. Cuts it upfield. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Trojans. The onslaught is on at Triton College Stadium. Lance Moore, he does everything. Defense, offense, score points. Kenny Cook, we'll find out after the game. But for now, 40-0 in favor of Cary-Grove.
I mean, shock and awe up here in this press box, as I'm sure we see down here on the St. Patrick's sideline. I mean, 3rd and 10, you think you finally have the Cary-Grove Trojans right where you want them, at least on this drive. They continue to do exactly what they're doing, and just an impressive run from Moore there, cutting back, making guys miss up and down the field. I mean, how many times can we compliment the athletes on this team?
Can't do running clock until the 3rd quarter, but we're right at it. And for Coach Zibikowski, do you consider waving the white flag and going to the seniors and just accepting defeat?
Certainly will play out the first half, I think, wants to give his guys who have fought in there all year long a chance to make their mark in a playoff game, no matter their seniority. Comes the second half, though, as that extra points pushed through. We'll see. I mean, Zibikowski's got experience being elite at all levels, including the NFL. He was Conference Coach of the Year. I'm sure whatever words he has in the locker room are certain to hype up his Shamrocks.
Big thank you to our sponsor in St. Patrick High School. Join the Shamrock Community Business Partner Program and help prepare students to be college and career ready. Support St. Pat's CTE program through internships, mentoring, and more. Alumni and parents, scan the QR code to get involved today. Faith, tradition, brotherhood, guiding every Shamrock to be college and career ready. Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said, and not only are you losing 41-0, but it's raining. Just not your night thus far.
Quite literally, when it rains, it pours, Kyle. This is
well
true.
Played. Well played.
For St. Patrick, they're going to try and finish out this game. But again, we really can't stress the importance of how great of a season this was for St. Patrick. From going 2 wins last year to having their first playoff win in 4 or 5 years, I think that deserves its own recognition. Tonight, Cary-Grove did not care for such recognition, however.
Well, slight break for St. Patrick as that goes out of bounds, but they just couldn't get the stops on defense they were hoping for tonight. Hard to win games when you give up 41 points. Just ask the Bengals. They scored 42. It still wasn't good enough.
Yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals have had that problem for a while now, no matter who's quarterbacking them, whether it's Joe Burrow or the other Joe and Joe Flacco.
Went to the Super Bowl 4 years ago. That was also the game where the Chiefs blew a 21-3 lead. Remember that?
The AFC Championship that year, that's right.
Yeah. That was also the year where I think Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks at home against the Bengals. It was just a weird playoff season. Oh, boy. I hate to reference the Bad News Bears, but starting to trend that way right now for St. Pat's.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of words that come to mind here that are positive when it comes to, things to uplift the Shamrocks or that have been going well for them. When
this stuff happens, man. I remember when the Cardinals were 9-4. They lost their last 3 to go 9-7, but they held on for the division title. And partner, what happened to them later on in January? Do you remember?
I believe I was young, but that sounds about right.
How many wins did they have in the playoffs after they lost their last 3 of the regular season?
Is that when they went to the Super Bowl?
That's when they went to the Super Bowl.
Played the Steelers?
They lost 3 in a row, including getting absolutely destroyed by the Patriots at the end of the year. This stuff happens, man. There's ebbs and flows of football. You think about the we're on to Cincinnati game, then the Patriots go on to win the Super Bowl. This stuff happens. Dan Marino's last game.
He against the Jaguars. Yeah.
So you're a Jaguar guy. You don't pronounce it Jaguar?
Is it supposed to be?
I think you can do both.
Maybe someone will call us at some point in the broadcast and let us know.
So you're a Jaguar guy. I'm a Jaguar guy.
Okay.
Is your dad a Jaguar guy?
You want me to call him right now? I'm not going to call my father, but
just text him.
Yeah.
Send him a Morse code.
Yeah.
Look at that catch. There's some positives. That's for Shayer. They need about 10 more of those, but nice catch.
You never want to start talking about moral victories this early into the game, but I think St. Patrick, their fans, and everybody involved with the program would be a lot happier if they at least showed some fight here just to really cap off this greatly improved season they had compared to years past.
Yeah, a lot of high hopes going into this game. You can't blame it on the weather conditions because Cary-Grove is dealing with the same thing, but like we said in the pregame show, this is ideal for them. When Cary-Grove gets into problems, like when they played Burlington Central and Prairie Ridge. By the way, Burlington Central prefers to go by Central, although you could technically call them Burlington Central as well. When you play pass-happy teams, quick passing attacks, air raids, it's problematic for Cary-Grove because I don't know if they can continually go toe-to-toe with that.
It's certainly going to be fun watching that play out in this playoff.
Gardner near the sideline. Tough throw. Maybe in better weather conditions, that's on the money. It looked like the water, the rain might have gotten enough of that ball to slow the momentum of it.
Just completely knocked it down, and now that I'm feeling the wind hit us in the face here, I think it was also going against Gardner's throw. Just, again, everything seeming just to go Cary-Grove's way, whether it's of their own volition or not. Now the wind's going in the face of the Shamrocks when they're trying to create some passing plays. Like, goodness gracious.
Doesn't it feel like when you're losing 41-0, it's like 5 degrees colder, you're 5 inches wetter on your helmet? Tight window throw. Flag on the play. It is not a spot foul. It's a 15-yard penalty. Hey, when you're up 41 points, you can be a little bit more aggressive on defense. That's what happened to Cary-Grove there.
Yeah, defensive pass interference will result. 15 yards for the Shamrocks. On the coverage there, Ryan Colts, the junior, with a little too ambitious on the coverage. Didn't get his head around, which is the most important thing in that pass interference. So pretty easy call for the officials there. I think they got that one right.
Well, if you're a Cary-Grove fan, exactly what you wanted and more for St. Patrick. Well, maybe time to order a pizza. Get your eyes off the screen for a couple minutes.
I think we've kept, framing this game in terms of this is do or die for St. Patrick. Yeah. They win or go home. I think Cary-Grove has never stopped thinking that this is do or die for them, too. They're playing like it's still a tie game, and they need this touchdown to win.
Try to get to the edge, over to Catrone. Now for this coaching staff for Cary-Grove, as they're led by head coach Brad Seabrook. Do you consider in the second half taking out all the seniors, getting them ready for the quarterfinals?
I think it's an important decision to make, and I don't disagree if he thinks he should do that. I think on a rainy, wet night like this, the physical style of football you play, if you keep guys out there, I think the risk for injuries just increased. Probably see him maybe pull off the gas a little bit once that clock hits 0 in the first half.
3:31 to go. Gardner, drop-off pass to Catrone. He'll get out of bounds, try to get to the 30. They can't run the ball because they're down 41 points. It's just tough for St. Pat's right now.
They are opening up the playbook, opening up the route tree, sending guys all the way into the end zone from about 40 yards out. Still was able to get some positive yardage there. I really don't know what's more impressive, though, if it's the defensive front of Cary-Grove applying pressure with only 3 or 4 rushers against this Shamrock offensive line, or the secondary just smothering their offensive weapons.
Trying to get to the edge as Catrone is bottled up. A lot of players on the tackle, but the man that delivered it, Trey Cole.
We mentioned his name a lot. I'll also give a shout-out on that play. 21, the senior Tanner Hurley. The number one thing they tell you as a defensive back when it comes to a run on your side, stay home. If you cut in a little bit and pinch and you get beat on the outside, that coach is not going to be happy with you in film study. Hurley, though, was going to suffer no such consequences.
4th down. Gardner, short of the first down. It looked like he had maybe enough time to get more to his right. The problem is the more you roll to your right, it shortens the field, and you don't want to throw across your body. Gardner decides to deliver it off balance, well short of the first down. And if you're Cary-Grove, do you want to be aggressive here or more conservative on offense?
it's hard to even say that when all they do is run the ball. But I get what you mean. You know, at this point, are you just going to run the halfback dive 3 or 4 times in a row before you go back to your triple option and get out to the outside here? I mean, it's hard to say. Again, it's not a running clock yet. There's still time in the first half if they choose to go down and just put an exclamation point on this first 24 minutes of play.
You always wonder, triple option, how many hits the quarterback can take. So when you're at 41 points, do you want him taking more hits? But then again, if you don't want him taking hits, then he wouldn't be out there in the first place, right? I mean, he's part of the offense.
And we're going to get a timeout taken by the Shamrocks here with 2:40 to go in the half.
And we'd like to thank St. Patrick one more time tonight. It's one of Chicago's greatest rivalries, the Crosstown Showdown between St. Pat's and the Dons of Notre Dame. Make plans Friday, December 5th to be at Curland Court for our legendary Braveheart game as the Shamrocks take on the Dons. Can't make it? Tune in to Marquee Sports Network and watch the Shamrocks bring the house down. That's going to be a fun one on Marquee Network, no less. That'll be cool.
You got to love when these young athletes here who work just as hard as anybody else does, no matter the level, get their day in fame on a major network like Marquee broadcasting that game. It's going to be really exciting for St. Patrick and that team as a whole. I think you mentioned this before, Kyle. We have a lot of blowouts in the second round of the playoffs, regardless of class.
2nd and 7. They're going to place the ball right at the 35. Pitch play out to the left. One man to beat. Can't make the tackle. Another touchdown coming up for the Trojans. All the way to the house. Flag on the play. If it's against the defense, the touchdown will stand. Zavala right now has the TD. We'll wait for the call. This would be a huge break for St. Pat's. Not the best tackling at the safety spot.
And once again, late to roll over there as that triple option bounced to the far side of the field. And I just think this misdirection and how much respect you have to give to these rushers is doing that. And as you see, the penalty does not affect the play. Touchdown stands. And we'll await the extra point, but it was
Zavala on the TD.
Zavala on the TD. I will also give a shout out. Logan Abrams, who big number 40 standing in there in a 3-point stance at all times in this wing T formation. That touchdown, he has a lot to be thanked for on that one. He set the one block on the edge where it was just going to be Zavala and that safety rolling over. And Zavala, as magnificent as he is, just keeps being a magician tonight.
One would think that's going to end the day for Jackson Burnt, Logan Abrams. It's just a gauntlet, this Cary-Grove team. They can beat you in so many ways. PAT's good. We'll take a break. It is all Trojans tonight on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today. High school sports fans, relive your
48-0. It's raining so hard, it's almost hard to see the ball go through the rain. Returned at the 10. They're just breaking off tackles, making tackles in the open field on special teams. Leo Zavala on the tackle. They play both sides of the field, both sides of the ball, and boy, oh boy.
The score speaks for itself, certainly, but I think as a whole, you have to give credit to the Cary-Grove program. Again, they've been running this wing tee, physical, 100-years-old style of football, it seems, ever since they've had a football program, and they continuously got into the playoffs, made a deep run, and collected state championships. So just to go down the accolades, 4-time state champions. They've been in the championship game 7 times, 10 times in the Final Four, and 19 times to the Elite Eight. Their record in the last 20 seasons, 214-39. I think that speaks for itself. That's ridiculous, Kyle.
I think the Bears had 39 losses in 3 straight seasons.
That's one thing I think everyone here can agree on. The Bears.
The Browns had 31 losses in 2 seasons.
That seems targeted at a certain color commentator you're standing next to, but that's okay. I forgive you.
He didn't throw him to the turf, but it looked like a little extracurricular activity after the whistle.
And one thing, if you're the refereeing crew, the game's already out of hand on the scoreboard. You don't want it to actually get out of hand on the field, especially after the whistle. So no flag was thrown there, but I expect these referees to be on their toes in case there's going to be some pushing and shoving that leads to something else.
And you could see one of the refs talking to Cary-Grove. Look, can't throw him down. Once you hear the whistle, you got to let him go. 3rd and 7. Belvedere North won last night. As that's complete. So Cary-Grove would have a home game since Belvedere North had back-to-back home games. You're not allowed to have 3 straight home games unless the team you played also had 2 straight home games. Not easy for Belvedere North. They got to play Cary-Grove, and they got to play Cary-Grove at Cary-Grove's home stadium. Partner, it's not just high school trying to defend the triple option. Georgia Tech was undefeated for most of this season. Justin Thomas, remember when they went to the not the Sugar Bowl, the Peach Bowl? Army almost beat Michigan during the COVID year with the triple option.
That was a fun game to watch for me personally. Watching the triple option, it's a thing of beauty because it's ugly to a lot of people. We're so used to Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball 50 times a game. There's a certain beauty to it, though.
That one's on the quarterback, on his back foot, made it really easy for the man in coverage to make the pick, and it's credited to Brady Elbert. Just not Gardner's day. Had a bad game. 3 picks and a fumble.
Brady Elbert has made more than enough plays tonight and finally has his name officially in the stat sheet with that interception, and the senior's certainly going to be excited about that, but going back to Gavin Gardner, at this point, I wonder if head coach Zibikowski's thinking of a quarterback change, not necessarily out of necessity in terms of poor play, but give Gardner a break. He's been great all season. I don't think he deserves this type of swan song on his 2025 season.
Now, things will get better for him in the second half if they decide to keep him in there, because one would think Cary-Grove is just going to put the backups in. Victory formation in the first half. He takes a knee. Well, you got to score 48 points if you're St. Patrick if you're going to go to the round of 8. And I don't think that's going to happen. So Cary-Grove, they're 24 minutes away from going to the quarterfinals.
It's a pretty unprecedented first half we've seen so far, and I think it's all the credit in the world to the talent and coaching ability of these Cary-Grove Trojans, who we said it before, are probably playing and are a better team than that 6th seed indicates.
We'll take a break, and we'll give you more halftime analysis. You're watching the Trojans against the Shamrocks here on the NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid earned that solo!
You say my kid?
Yeah,
come on! What's wrong
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore, Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good. this high school.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. Let's go, Roxy.
When I was a sophomore, I earned a spot as the starting kicker on the varsity team. And the upperclassmen took me under their wing. I mean, it meant a lot. It was like having another brother, having someone else that had my back.
I better see you all there. You gonna be there? Yeah. Are you gonna be there? That's what I like to hear.
Yeah!
St. Patrick High School is brotherhood, faith, and tradition. Everything we do here comes back to these three things. The brotherhood at St. Pat's are the bonds that last the rest of our lives.
Once you become a member of the St. Pat's community, all the people that you meet here, even the alumni, they become a part of your life forever.
From the day you come in and shadow to the day you leave in graduation, you're always part of something bigger than yourself. We talk about brotherhood and tradition and being a Shamrock not for 4 years, but for 40 years. Well, then when you see people that are coming back and living that, like they're still giving back, and it's been 20, 30 years since they graduated, I mean, that's the evidence.
Being at St. Patrick High School has been one of the most formative and best experiences of my life. It is here where I grew in my faith. It is here where I met some of my best friends in the world, and it's here where I ultimately discovered my purpose in life.
What's up, dude? What's up, my man? How you doing? What's going on? What's up, man? How you doing?
When we say faith, we mean it in all its forms. Faith in each other, faith in our teachers, and our faith. Our tradition runs deep. It defines our present and fuels our future.
So over here, I have to create a for loop.
There is no community like the one that I've seen here. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of self. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of what they want their next steps to be, where they're going.
Lo habla muy bien.
I shadowed for the homecoming pep rally, and the kid I was shadowing, Kwame, he was one of the captains on the football team at the time, and for the pep rally, he just went out there and got everyone hyped, and I was like, wow, like I want to go here.
Once you believe in something, it stays with you for the rest of your life. If they believe in the people here, and they believe in the building and the school, this place can take them somewhere special. St. Patrick High School, it's not just 4 years, it's for life.
Kyle Smith alongside Andrew Diedrich. For the last time, Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said, what do you think that the coaching staff for St. Patrick is telling their sophomores, juniors, and seniors in the locker room?
I think a lot of times, for a head coach as great as Tom Zibikowski has been this year, I think a lot of the messaging to his players all season, regardless of their performance on the field, is that the team is a brotherhood. You stand by your brothers, win, lose, draw, whatever it happens to be. They're building more than just a winning football team. They want to build a culture, and they want to build a community of young men that support, uplift each other, and accomplish their own goals. So, again, in a 48-0 game, that's probably the conversations they're having. It's unfortunate that they've kind of are out of this game already, but I mean, you have to look across the field and tip your cap to the Cary-Grove Trojans. 48-0 is just an incredible score.
Well, we don't do 3 stars of the game until the game is officially over, but one would think that Jackson Byrne is going to be one of those 3 stars.
Whether he's taking the ball himself or handing it off, he's responsible for 2 touchdowns with his own legs, and his ability to throw the defenders of St. Patrick off with these misdirections and getting out there, perfect pitches in the triple options. He's certainly solid. Perhaps we'll talk to him after the game in our post-game interview.
So you're saying St. Patrick isn't going to have 4 pick sixes in the second half to get back in this game?
The beauty of football is that anything can happen. So it is not physically impossible for the Shamrocks to win this one, and I'm sure that's the mindset that they're going to have as they kick this ball off.
Look, as much as you want to win in football, the game itself is fun. For St. Patrick, I know it's cliched to say, but try to have fun out there as best you can. Got to stay within your lanes, though, partner. I know it's only a return to the 30, but these are the little things that St. Pat's has to work on going into next season. A 20-yard return needs to be a 10-yard return. Stay in your lanes and then make the tackle.
Yeah, and even though this is the last game of the year, I think it'll be film study even of this game, other games this year. They're going to see these minor mistakes, like you said, because once those, it's kind of like it snowballs a little bit. Those minor mistakes, if not corrected, can lead to worse and worse results down the line, and then all the progress you've had as a team just gets negated.
They're children, too, unless they're 18. Most of these guys are 16, 17, possibly 18. Those little things, it gets in your head a little bit. I know the saying is, on to the next play, try, quick mindset. Shane Coyle was on that return. Oh, Shane Coyle at quarterback. As that's blown dead. Excellent tackle on the play. They try to feed it to the backup running back who's not on the depth chart.
I also don't see him on my roster either. I think that maybe just speaks to the depth of this Cary-Grove team as well.
They just saw a guy in the stands they liked, put 46 on his shirt, and said, hey, go out there and play tailback.
Either they got really lucky with the talent or some really solid coaching. Maybe it's just both.
Once again, if you'd like to see a private tour of the historic campus at St. Patrick, 5900 West Belmont, email Joe Cermak, jcermak@stpatrick.org. 2nd and 9 as the hard count gets the defensive tackle to draw offside. Clock will run for the rest of the half. And even if St. Patrick were to score 2 touchdowns, St. Pat's can opt to keep the clock running. We've seen that a couple of times this season. And we saw it in the game preceding this one where Rolling Meadows scored a late touchdown, but they decided to keep the clock running.
Remind me and some of the viewers at home, what's the point threshold for the running clock in the state of Illinois?
It's 40 points. Got to be second half. And I like it. Look, it's cool to score a touchdown, but when you score a touchdown going up 60-0, I know mom and dad are happy you scored, but the other team isn't. And once you're up 48-0, like what's the point of scoring more touchdowns in regular time?
Right, and we see the backups are at least all in the backfield for the Cary-Grove Trojans. It's, you mentioned before, number 18, Shane Coyle under center. So the senior getting some reps in and a playoff game here.
Pitch play to the left. It was to Guerrero, 5'10" tailback. So partner, there's all these different terminologies you can use when it comes to a running back. Halfback, tailback. What terminology do you like to use?
I guess naturally it was always running back, but yeah, you can't say halfback, tailback. I think they're synonyms. At least when I was playing football, we kind of used it interchangeably. I mean, fullback is a different thing.
Correct.
And when you're talking about, the personnel thing, whether it's 12 personnel or
11
22 personnel, 11 personnel.
Yeah.
You're talking about the halfbacks and the tight ends. So I guess it's depending on coaching philosophy.
And then there are guys like Darren Sproles that are scat backs. Or do we call Darren Sproles a running back? That guy's a running back, and he's running to the end zone. Touchdown, Cary-Grove. Shane Coyle, the quarterback, takes it to the house. The exclamation point on a dominating win tonight for the Trojans. It's all over but the crying. St. Patrick, their season will end tonight.
Yeah, Coyle, the senior quarterback, taking his first snaps of the night, and it ends in a lengthy touchdown run. Sure to be a memorable game for him. He has a similar height and weight to Jackson Burnt. Burnt, the starter, of course, 6'2", 205. Coyle listed at 6'2", 177. So a little skinnier, maybe even a little quicker there. He showed the wheels there.
Triple option. It's tough to beat. So there are some iterations of the running clock. Sometimes they do stop it on touchdowns.
Looks like that's what they do here with 7:57 remaining on the third.
Prestera the hold, and the kick by Apayez. We'll stick with the action, 55-0, as we want to show one of our sponsors' commercials. Come see St. Patrick High School up close. Book a private tour of the store campus at 5900 West Belmont. Updated facilities and countless opportunities for future Shamrocks. Email Director of Admissions, Joe Cermak at jcermak@stpatrick.org. St. Patrick, faith, tradition, brotherhood. Well, you were coming from West Lafayette. You're a big Ohio State fan, 34-10 win tonight for the Buckeyes. Is there any team, as a Buckeye fan, that you would not like to see if Ohio State made it all the way to the championship game?
Yeah, so I think if you look first inside the Big Ten, I think the number one team you look at is Indiana, who they will not play in the regular season, could face off in the Big Ten championship. Indiana had some struggles today with Penn State, winning at the last minute there. Happy Valley was rocking for that one, it sounds like.
Look, nobody likes getting embarrassed on their own home turf, and I still think James Franklin is a heck of a coach.
Yeah.
They don't want to get embarrassed. They have a new coach. The interim coach wants to show his prowess and possibly get a victory as an upset team. And do you buy into Texas A&M at all?
I wanted to say no for the entire season, and I know that LSU is going through their own coaching shake-up and woes themselves, but the way they dismantled LSU last week, I saw some impressive stuff, as this return's pretty impressive here for St. Patrick.
This could go the distance! Down the sideline! Rocco Mertens! They're not going to win tonight, Andy, but what a beautiful return by Rocco.
The thing about kickoffs, a lot of them aren't really flashy. It's just execution of the game plan perfectly. Chip block on this left side led to a lane on that left, and it's Rocco that ran through it all the way for the first points on the board for these Shamrocks. And these fans certainly let them know that they're excited that they're on the scoreboard.
Coach Mertens, his dad, used to coach here. Now they need an onside kick, a Hail Mary, an onside kick, a Hail Mary, possibly give $100 bills to all four officials.
We're not condoning that, by the way. It's just in theory.
It's part of the business, right? But no one likes to get shut out in the playoffs. Love to see it for St. Patrick. Found a way to put 6 on the Jumbotron. Too little, too late. We talked about staying in your lanes, and that time Cary-Grove just didn't stay in their lanes. Snap is there, the hold, and the kick. Straight through the uprights. Kick is good. Mertens with the touchdown. Costanza with the PAT. We'll go to commercial break. Trojans still in full control here on the NFHS Network.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
55-7, that's not a misprint, folks. Do you ever watch SB Nation's YouTube channel?
I do, quite often, actually.
Do you ever watch the scoregami bits?
You think we have some scoregami here in the playoffs tonight?
55-7, then if that's continues to be the score throughout. Fumble, that's still a live ball. And the special teams for Cary-Grove, a little shaky right now. Gave up a touchdown, almost fumbled it. Is it complacency? Is it because the ball is wet? I don't know, but something they got to clean up going into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and knowing Coach Brad Seberg with the excellent results they've had under him since he's been at the helm since 2011, certainly he's going to be upset with that, even though that they're up 55-7 right now. The clock will run as the ball, because it was touchdown, I think it's all the way back at the 5-yard line, Kyle.
Does that mean he's off the team?
I would be shocked if he was still not in that locker room, potentially celebrating their big win tonight.
You're welcome to come to the after party, but Monday's practice, bring your key card and your playbook to my office. I kid, of course. Their own 5. Can they take it 95 yards for a touchdown? We've seen a 75-yarder earlier. Go up the middle. Big thank you to the fans. Both teams and their fan bases coming out. It's not easy. Look, you can prepare for it with the poncho. You still get wet. Doesn't feel good. Nobody's going home. Cary-Grove, this game is clearly in hand, and it's mostly a full house on the visitor side.
Even though the game might be out of reach here for St. Patrick, and Cary-Grove fans could potentially turn this game off if they wanted to, not really seeing any fans leave the stands here. They want to be here supporting these young athletes here in what could be some of their last games.
Cary-Grove, they still might have 3 games ahead of them.
It's a long road to the state championship, but they're making it look real short right now.
Ball's out. Nice hit. But it's just Cary-Grove's night tonight as the ball goes out of bounds. Slow to get up as they go to the backup tailback. Taking a shot was Cade Hammett. He's a junior, 5'10", only 155 pounds. And he got back up, so he's going to try to shake it off and stay in there.
Yeah, impressive resiliency from him, but credit to the secondary member of the Shamrocks who came over there in that slow developing sweep. That's the thing about that. You have your lead blockers in front of you on that sweep, but with the closing speed of a member of the secondary like that, if they come unabated at that ball carrier and they're not unable to juke him out, that's going to be a big hit on this near side as we just saw.
If you're just joining us, where were you? Come on now. You had one job and you blew it. 48-0 at half. Jackson Burnt, Logan Abrams, whoever got the ball, Leo Zavala taking it to the house. Chunk plays did in the Shamrocks today. And the text line is still excuse me. Text line is still open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory. Text 330-957. 7653. All FCC regulations do apply. What's your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory?
Having to pick just one is difficult. I would say out of the 3 levels, the team I grew up rooting for that's the best out of those 3 would be the team that plays at Ohio State.
Okay.
Sorry to our videographer, Ashley, who's been great tonight, but
Nope.
she went to Purdue.
She blew it. She had one job. She could have gone to Ohio State, but she blew it.
Purdue's a magnificent school. I saw their campus for the first time today. It was phenomenal. You're not making it easy on the Boiler fans today.
Great basketball program.
Absolutely.
At Purdue. So what's your favorite Ohio State game? Is it the game against Alabama in the Sugar Bowl?
That's definitely top 3. It's hard to pick just one.
Or is it? Were you alive for the national championship game against Miami?
I was 2 years old. I was watching the game, sleeping in another room as Ohio State pulled that game out in double overtime against the undefeated Hurricanes.
And Ken Dorsey was on that team.
Yeah. Ohio State, Ohio State had great players on both sides. It was really the defense that won them. Ohio State's quarterback of the year, Craig Krenzel.
Yep. Played for the Bears a little bit.
He did. Yeah, Chicago fans will know him as that. But before he was a Chicago Bear, he was in the scarlet and gray and miraculous championship that year for the upstart Buckeyes, who have won a couple since then, I think.
Favorite Ohio State memory?
See, I'll bring up fourth down for Cary-Grove there. If I had to pick just one, there is something very special to me. My freshman year at school, 2018, Michigan, I believe, was 3-point favorites. They were bringing in the #1 defense in the country up to that point. And the quarterback at the time for the Buckeyes, Dwayne Haskins, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, good guy.
Final score, 62-39 on what was supposedly the #1 defense in the country. Pretty impressive stuff. I mean, Michigan's trotted out several great teams over the years, and it was certainly not diminishing what they've done. But that was quite the experience, getting to storm the field and everything. You know, it's pretty cool going to a school that's good at sports versus what my high school did, I guess.
Not the best putt in the world. Takes a friendly Cary-Grove hop, gets close to the 40. Let's see where they spot it. It'll be spotted at the 38.
So
34. Wow, not a great
flip the question on you, Kyle. Do you have a favorite football memory that sticks out to you? Whether it's mine was, I guess, from the fan side. I mean, whether it's playing, watching, broadcasting.
Well, I played 1 year middleweight football.
Yeah.
Did you play middleweight or heavyweight?
No.
So middleweight. So when I was in middle school, our team was so there was middleweight, heavyweight, and lightweight.
Yeah.
The heavyweight and the lightweight teams, no bueno. But the middleweight team, I think we were 2-0 or 3-0. Everybody else was 0-3. We played our rival in Granger Middle School. And if Dan Walker is watching or listening, he was our quarterback. I think he also played a little safety. I can't remember. We were up, and Granger ran the flea flicker 75 yards, and we never won a single game after that. So we finished the year 3-5. I think we started the year 2-0 or 3-0. And to this day, I've talked to Dan a couple times. That darn flea flicker ruined our season. So that's my favorite, as a player. And as a fan, I probably told you the story. But I was at back-to-back the Mike Brown games. This is before your time. Mike Brown had back-to-back pick sixes as the injured player, number 8 for St. Patrick. He's able to get back on his own esteem and come back to the sideline. But back-to-back pick sixes. And the Bears were down 28-9 to Jeff Garcia and the 49ers. Came back. It was in Terrell Owens' hands in overtime. He dropped it right into Mike Brown's breadbasket. He took it for a pick six. Then they were down 21-7 to your beloved Browns. I think they were down with under a minute left. Threw a touchdown pass. They somehow got the onside kick. And then Shane Matthews, of all people, threw a pass. It was knocked down, I think, by a Browns player. And then the backup running back, James Allen, caught it in the end zone. And then in overtime, Tim Couch got deflected, and Mike Brown caught it, and pick six in back-to-back weeks. I swear Old Soldier Field was shaking like an earthquake, especially in that Browns game.
Say what you want. I think the turnout for these two teams shows that these Chicago fans are dedicated when it comes to their football teams, whether it be at the pro level, high school, or anything in between.
Catrone getting to the edge, gets a couple of yards. Look, if you make it 55-14, I think that matters for the players.
I think great coaches motivate their players in any way that they think will get the players up and ready to play. Whether or not they necessarily agree with it, that's fine. I'm sure Coach Zibikowski of St. Patrick, as someone who has excelled at all levels, played in the NFL, doesn't necessarily want to go in the locker room and tell his guys, well, at least go down fighting. At the same time, though, if that's what you have to say is we get a trick play. Hold on, Kyle.
So they run the reverse. Get it to Shayer. They just didn't have it today passing the football. And one of the reasons turnovers are bad, not only does it give the other team great field position, that's one less possession you won't have later on in the game. Yeah. So you wonder why teams lose when they get picked off 4 times, because it's almost like a 2-possession swing. They gain a possession and you lose one. That's why punting, I think, is underrated in the game of football.
As we see there, that's a little too eager on that defensive line for Cary-Grove, so that'll be a first down for St. Patrick, as I believe our third quarter's come to a close.
Take a break. Fourth quarter coming up next. It's all Trojans here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
.55-7. The rain continues, as you can see it on the lens. Our videographer, Ashley Mazico, doing a great job tonight. The real MVP of tonight. She's battling the elements, the cold. 55-7.
And we've credited everybody, all the fans for showing up, the players for sticking it out and everything. I think us up here in the press box, everyone alongside us, I'm impressed. They've kept their nose to the grindstone, I guess, for a rainy, cold Illinois playoff game like this. I mean, football can be really beautiful sometimes, and it can be really ugly. I think you have to find the beauty in some of the struggle to really love this sport, and I think of the way a lot of us do.
Fakes the handoff to the end zone. Shayer. Touchdown, Shayer! He had 191 yards receiving last week, that time with the big touchdown catch. And they're not going to win tonight, but giving the fans something to cheer about.
Being able to write home about something is so great. You see, right after that pass, it was almost a sigh of relief and a fist pump from Gavin Gardner, the quarterback, who, again, just a week ago, 21 of 30, close to 300 yards, had 2 or 3 touchdown passes. Tonight, not quite his night, but I think just showing that he still has his fastball, per se, being able to float that one in there in this near side of the end zone, just a really good sign for the Shamrocks and something to take home with you.
Shayer will hold. Costanzo to kick. Hold is there, and the kick straight through the uprights. We'll take a quick break. It's still all Trojans here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Yes, that's a fumbled kickoff. Even when they fumble it, they gain 10 more yards. Trying to think of a famous rainy game. The one that comes to mind, one of the few times the Jets have been in the AFC Championship game, and the final score, they played the Dolphins. The only time that Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl. And I believe the Dolphins won that game 3-0.
So it was really rainy is what you're saying.
And I believe the game was called the Mud Bowl. And to this day, I forget who the Jets head coach was, but he argued to the NFL that the Dolphins didn't cover the field that well prior to game time. But what are you going to do? I mean, if it rains during the game.
A lot of rain tonight. Luckily playing on turf, I guess don't have to worry about the mud, but...
Uh-oh. Sorry, the PA guy accidentally hit the music button. Just not going right for anybody at St. Patrick.
It's good songs. I mean, I don't blame him if he wants to keep them on, to be honest with you.
Nice first down run for Cary-Grove as they give it to the backup fullback. Everybody's a fullback on this team, and that was to Diego Guerrero.
A lot of substitutions coming in for St. Patrick. I think just trying to give everybody a chance to at least get a taste of playoff football, and rightfully so. I think all these young athletes work so hard on both ends, but especially St. Patrick looking to be their last game. Got to give everybody a rep to get out there, especially if a senior, get to lace them up one last time.
You think about that interception and early on in the game Gardner threw. Confidence and the psychological aspect of the game comes into play.
So much is mental when you're a quarterback, that's for sure.
Pitch play out to the right, a little bit lackadaisical on the pitch. And this triple option is so hard to defend. Guys are getting tackled that don't have the ball. Because you can still do it, because if they're about to pitch it, you can still hit them. That's why NFL teams don't run the triple option, because you can still hit the quarterback right after he pitches it, because he's still a ball carrier until he isn't.
Yeah, you have to have some hardened guys playing quarterback for you. And, of course, we mentioned whether it is the starter, Jackson Burnt, or the backup in there. That's number 18, Shane Coyle. They both stand at least 6'2". Burnt weighs 205 pounds he's listed as. So these are big quarterbacks that can take a hit, because they certainly have taken a lot tonight.
Still on his feet and then brought down near the 40. This was a handoff to Thad Ahara. Good luck to anybody who plays Cary-Grove. Belvedere North in the quarterfinals. And Parter, do you have the bracket in front of you?
I do have this Class 5A bracket right in front of me, if you want to take a gander.
If for some reason Cary-Grove wins that game against Belvedere North, and if is maybe when, I should say, because they're so good, they would get to the semifinals, and they would play, in my opinion, probably either Prairie Ridge or St. Francis. And, of course, Prairie Ridge and Cary-Grove are in the same conference. St. Francis was in the semis last year, lost to Nazareth.
Yeah, one heck of a top half of the Class 5A bracket right there. But when we're talking about Cary-Grove real quick, I mean, you said that they really have put the entire state on notice. I mean, keep in mind, they have scored this many points. They had 42 points last week. 0 passes thrown. All these yards coming on the ground just with their one game plan, the triple option and the wing tee. I don't know how many times we could talk about it, Kyle. I think the point stands. Cary-Grove, they got some football to play.
They certainly know their football, don't they? Running the football, especially.
Actually have 4th down coming up for the Trojans, too.
Just running as much clock as possible. Delayed handoff. Good open field tackle. And St. Patrick will get the ball at least one more time tonight. Jack Kelly is the backup quarterback if they decide to go that route. But I talked about that interception that Gardner threw, the psychological aspect of this game, and that interception that gave Cary-Grove great field position. You got to think, as the defense for St. Patrick, did it change their mindset a little bit? We were expecting to get some first downs and then punt it deep to pin them deep. And now they have the ball right at the 50. And did they start to second-guess themselves?
Yeah, it's certainly a question of what if the game didn't start off on such a strong note for the Trojans. Would this have played out any differently? Perhaps not. Would the score be different? Almost certainly.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. When you put yourself behind the 8 ball, it's hard to overcome them. At the same time, I still remember that NFC Championship game where the Vikings had 6 fumbles, and I believe they lost 3 of them, and then Brett Favre threw a pick across the middle, and the Vikings still could have won that game in overtime. So you can overcome them, but you have to have the talent to overcome them.
Yeah, that helped give Drew Brees and the Saints their first Super Bowl.
I believe Peterson had 4 fumbles and Bernard Berrien had 2. Well, if St. Patrick scores a touchdown on this drive, it would make it 55-20 or 55-21. So the casual observer of the box score and the Daily Herald article, wasn't that bad, right? Well, it was 48-0 when the starters were out there.
Now, there's so much that goes on beyond the box score when you watch some of these games, and I think this is a perfect example of it. As looks like will be stopped short of the first down and fired up is still, despite this huge lead, the Cary-Grove Trojan defense.
Prude Shamarian, he's the guy that was celebrating on that tackle. And I think he's more celebrating on the tackle he made. He's not trying to shove it into St. Patrick's throat. He's just, I made a nice tackle, and I'm excited about it. Gets to the edge, finally brought down as he gets inside the 35.
That's the thing about football is if you talk to any one of these guys out here in the field outside of the game, probably mild-mannered gentlemen, you could have a pretty easygoing conversation with them. Once they touch the field, though, it's a different beast entirely. You got to be a bit of a sicko to play and excel at football when it comes to going and running into other large men repeatedly for an hour straight. A couple hours straight, in fact.
They go to the backup tailback in Ergish. This stuff happens, partner, and I hate to rehash it, but I think of that Super Bowl that John Elway lost, 55-10. That is the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history. He played in 3 Super Bowls to start off his career. He lost all 3. They were all blowouts. Does that mean John Elway stunk all 3 games and was no good? No. He just wasn't particularly good those 3 nights. But then the other 2 Super Bowls, he was very good. Just the ebbs and flows of playing quarterback and playing football.
It's a beautiful yet cruel sport, and I think the only way to respond to it, it's unfortunate if you're a senior and this is the last taste of football. You make it, at least at St. Patrick. Maybe if you play further on, maybe not. But if anything, this is just more fuel to the fire for what St. Patrick could be years in the future, and maybe just a preview of what Cary-Grove's going to do in this 5A bracket.
Screen pass to the tight end. It's going to be a nice drive home for Cary-Grove, driving back to Cary. That nice warm bus. Maybe they have a team dinner. And for St. Patrick, a long drive home to the Belmont-Cragen area. But they had a good season. Just tonight, not so great. I mean, the game that we did before this one here at Triton College Stadium is Ergish again. That was 45-7. I mean, this stuff happens in the IHSA.
Once again, credit to the fans and everybody in attendance here for sticking this one out. It means so much to everybody on the field, and that's just in attendance tonight. And it's nice to take a nice wholesome moment that everybody can agree on. We love the sport, so much love and admiration for everyone out in the field, and regardless of the result, I hope everybody had fun today. What say you?
I had fun. I was hoping for a better game tonight. And the game before this one, I was hoping for a non-blowout.
Certainly the one conclusion you can draw from this game, it's going to be very exciting to see not just if, but maybe when Cary-Grove makes their way to the state championship game. And I want to call my shot. Maybe that's not as bold of a prediction as some might say after a performance like this. But these Trojans look nearly unstoppable, and all they do is run the triple option. Easier said than done to stop, of course.
Under a minute to go. To the end zone. Touchdown catch. So St. Patrick ends the game on a 20-7 run. If they get the PAT, it'll be 21-7.
So it looks like that's going to be the last offensive play of the year for St. Patrick. And what a great way to end it. It's kind of similar to if you ever shot a basketball around in an open gym, Kyle. You might miss a whole bunch of the shots, but if you end on a make, you feel pretty good. And seeing one go through the hoop metaphorically here for the Shamrocks has to feel good. And these fans certainly let their players know that they are very much appreciated and admired.
So, partner, who were your 3 starts of the game brought to you by the NFHS Network?
I think I'll start at the bottom. We'll go Leo Zavala for
Cary-Grove.
For Cary-Grove, one of the many Trojan athletes that makes plays, has made plays all season. I think had more than a couple runs of 20-plus yards, including that long touchdown run in the first half. I think I'll start there, and I'll go to you for who else we're going to nominate for a star of the game.
Second star, probably Logan Abrams. And then first star, no surprise here, Big Jackson Burnt, the quarterback. The 75-yard run, it pretty much silenced the crowd here at Triton College Stadium. It's going to be 21 points on the Jumbotron now for the Shamrocks, but really it was in garbage time against second stringers for the Trojans. And for Cary-Grove, everybody else, watch out. And wouldn't that be something if it was Prairie Ridge against Cary-Grove in the semifinals, the battle of the Fox Valley Conference foes, with a trip to Illinois State University on the line.
This is true. Cary-Grove, 2 losses on the year, one of them coming to Prairie Ridge right there. A rematch in the playoffs with everything on the line. Ooh, could be quite the exciting matchup.
22 seconds on the clock. Squib kick. And just goes down. No reason to return it. And just going to the ground to return that one was Ryan Darby. And how about that? Good sportsmanship from the Trojans. They're deciding not to run victory formation. They're just going to shake hands. And a big thank you to St. Patrick for having us out tonight. It was all Trojans tonight. Final thoughts, Parter, before we go to the postgame show.
Yeah, tremendous season from both teams. You know, the two storylines going into this, whether it's the upstart St. Patrick team going from 2 wins to a playoff win this year against the traditional powerhouse in the Trojans across from them. I guess sometimes that traditional style of ball is going to get you, and I definitely got the Shamrocks tonight.
So for our excellent crew, for Ashley Mazzico, for Sam Corbett, for Andy Diedrich, I'm Kyle Smith. Andy will go downstairs for our postgame show with Jackson Burnt. But for now, that does it for our in-game broadcast. The postgame show brought to you by the NFHS Network coming up next.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
But I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. Let's go, Rocky.
When I was a sophomore, I earned a spot as the starting kicker on the varsity team. And the upperclassmen took me under their wing. I mean, it meant a lot. It was like having another brother, having someone else that had my back.
I better see you all there. You gonna be there? Yeah. Are you gonna be there? That's what I like to hear.
Yeah! St. Patrick High School is brotherhood, faith, and tradition. Everything we do here comes back to these three things. The brotherhood at St. Pat's are the bonds that last the rest of our lives.
Once you become a member of the St. Pat's community, all the people that you meet here, even the alumni, they become a part of your life forever.
From the day you come in shadow to the day you leave in graduation, you're always part of something bigger than yourself. You know, we talk about brotherhood and tradition and being a Shamrock not for 4 years, but for 40 years. Well, then when you see people that are coming back and living that, like they're still giving back, and it's been 20, 30 years since they graduated, I mean, that's the evidence.
Being at St. Patrick High School has been one of the most formative and best experiences of my life. It is here where I grew in my faith. It is here where I met some of my best friends in the world, and it's here where I ultimately discovered my purpose in life.
What's up, dude? What's up, my man? How you doing? What's going on? What's up, man? How you doing?
When we say faith, we mean it in all its forms. Faith in each other, faith in our teachers, and our faith. Our tradition runs deep. It defines our present and fuels our future.
So over here, I have to create a for loop.
There is no community like the one that I've seen here. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of self. I want them to walk away with a strong sense of what they want their
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America. There have always been a few.
Welcome into our post-game interview presented by NFHS Network. Cary-Grove steamrolls St. Patrick by a score of 55-21 here at Triton College. Our player of the game standing next to me, Cary-Grove quarterback Jackson Barron. Jackson, what a tremendous win for your team, moving on to the quarterfinals of the Class 5A state playoffs. How do you feel? How does the team feel getting a win such as this?
Thank you. It feels great. I thought we played really well as a team today, and it feels great to come out here and do what we've been practicing and just play really well as a team and do our thing.
Yeah, with the wing tee offense, you guys are on the triple option and everything on a rainy night like tonight. Does that play into your favor? Did you guys feel like you were going to win this game because of the reason with the weather and everything?
I mean, we knew it was going to be rainy and stuff, but we weren't going to make any excuses, and we were just going to come out here and do our thing. I think that helped a little bit, but either way, no matter the weather, we were just going to come out here with a good mindset and try and do our thing.
And, of course, looking ahead, still a couple games to go to make it to that state championship, though. What's been the mindset of this team all season? Has it always been state championship or bust? How do you guys stay focused week in and week out?
We just take it 1 week at a time, focus on the next opponent that we got, and just giving our everything in practice hard every week, and just take it 1 week at a time.
All right, won't take up too much of your time. You ready to go out there and contend for a state title, Jackson?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you so much for your time, and best luck rest of the way. That's going to do it here on NFHS Network. We'll see you next time.